Hello everyone, my name is Gaurav. In this session, we are having discussion about the term progress, which is a part of economics. Before we understand progress from nation's perspective, that what does progress mean for the country or for the nation, let us try to understand the meaning of progress for the layman. एक कॉमन मैन के लैंग्वेज में, एक ले मैन के लैंग्वेज में प्रोग्रेस का मतलब क्या होता है? सो व्हाट इज प्रोग्रेस फॉर यू? आपके लिए एज एन इंडिविजुअल, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय टर्म प्रोग्रेस? सो फॉर यू, progress can be anything, or it can range from your income, your job or designation, or what are luxuries or amenities you are having in your life, etc., which you can measure or calculate easily. But when we talk about nation or country, calculation or arrival of progress is not that much easy. Economists try to define progress, try to calculate progress by various ways or various methods. We will be discussing few concepts, few words, terminologies related to the progress from nation's perspective. Because in economy, our main focus is on macroeconomics. So we will be talking on the macro level. So in order to arrive at progress or to determine or calculate progress, so economists used or said that progress should be measured based on monetary or economic activities. So what we said, progress should be measured or can be measured based on monetary or economic activities. Now what do we mean by term monetary or economic activities? Simple meaning of this term is any activity which involves money or any transaction which involves money is a monetary activity or an economic activity. To simplify this, let us say you are a manufacturer. So आप कौन हो? आप एक manufacturer हो. So you are a manufacturer. So for manufacturing any particular product or commodity, you need raw material, and in order to process it, you need labor. So you need raw material and labor. So जब आप raw material purchase करोगे, so जो raw material का जो seller रहेगा, you will pay him some money. Let us say you paid ₹100, and to labor for the work which he has done for you, you paid salary or wages, let us say worth ₹80. And at the end, the final product is sold by you, let us say at ₹200. So here, at all places, you have monetary element. So these are monetary or economic activities. So whatever activities those involve transaction in money, we classify them as monetary and economic activities, and based on these monetary or economic activities, progress should be calculated or progress can be calculated. This was one of the view. So in monetary activities, when we talk about, there is no place or no room for non-monetary work or activity, let us say your household work or something done on account of love and affection. It has no place in the term monetary or economic activities. So economists across the globe reached to a conclusion that progress should be arrived at or calculated or compared based on monetary or economic activities. But this has to be measured, right? So in order to calculate progress or growth of a nation, these monetary activities or economic activities are to be measured. So in order to measure them, few concepts arrived, such as gross domestic product, that is GDP, and net domestic product, that is NDP. Second, gross national product, that is GNP, and net national product, that is NNP. And based on this, we have per capita income, that is income of a nation divided by its population. So this concept arrived. So let us say an economy is having total production, that is the final output, worth 100 units. So if we say that total production and outcome of final product is 100 units, it does not specify or it does not give the valuable information to us. So 100 units का output है तो है. What should be done with it? We need a comparative figure as well. So let us assume this is year 1 and in year 2 the output or final product were 110 units. So based on this, we can find out that there is a growth of 10 units. If we want to reflect it in percentile term, it is 10%. So growth is of 10%. While taking all these measures and all these calculations, two words were used interchangeably. Two words were used interchangeably. What are those two words? These two words are growth and development, or we can call it economic development. Okay. So why do we calculate this? In order to check the growth or development or progress of a nation. So conclusion was that those nations who are having higher income or higher GDP, people of that country will be more happy, they will be more developed, there will be more prosperity, etc. So this was trend for certain number of years. However, it was found that rich countries or rich nations were also facing some problems. What are those problems which were faced by rich countries or rich nations? These problems were such as high crime rate, health issues, addiction such as drug addictions, disparity in income, that is income inequality, etc. So many issues or many problems were faced by countries having higher income as well, that is rich countries or rich nations. From this, economists thought that we need to have material as well as non-material thing in order to calculate progress or in order to arrive at progress. So from this, we try to differentiate between the word growth and development. We try to differentiate between the word growth and development, or what we call it economic development. Now need arises to differentiate these two words. So in order to differentiate these two words, growth is said to be something which is quantifiable, which you can calculate. So quantitative data or quantifiable data can be termed as growth, like what we have seen in this example, that there is 10% growth. As far as development is concerned, focus shifted to quantifiable and qualitative aspects. So what we said, that having high income does not mean that we are having overall development or there is overall happiness or overall prosperity. This progress or growth or development should have two elements. One, the quantifiable data, that is quantitative element, as well as qualitative element. So progress includes growth and development. So quantitative wise आपका growth होना चाहिए, but it must have qualitative aspects as well. So in this process, so growth हमने कह दिया quantifiable है, that we have this data of 10% growth. As far as development is concerned, how we can measure development? Because something which can be quantified, it is easy to calculate. Something which is qualitative, how do we calculate it? How do we say that we are having qualitative development as well? So in order to deal with this particular thing, certain benchmarks were set. Certain benchmarks were set. What are those benchmarks? Let us try to understand it. These benchmarks were, let us try to understand these benchmarks. One benchmark was health. Another benchmark was or is education. And the last or third benchmark which is set is living standard. That is standard of living. So these three benchmarks were set. That we can say that there is a qualitative development as well if a nation is able to look into these three benchmarks, that is health, education, and living standards. Still, there is debate going on that which things should be included in these benchmarks, how much weightage should be assigned to which thing. But we can definitely work on these three benchmarks first, which are well recognized or well known. Now, the question arises, how do we measure health? How you can calculate health as a parameter, right? So, आपने कहा कि health is a benchmark, but how I can say that this nation is more healthy or that nation is more healthy or like this. So, in order to calculate or in order to arrive at the aspect of health, what we used the term life expectancy. What we used the term life expectancy at birth. So we use the word or we use the term life expectancy at birth. Simple logic was, if you are having higher life expectancy at birth, then there is more development. If you are having lower life expectancy at birth, there is less development. First, as far as education is concerned, to measure education, two parameters are used. One is mean year of schooling, that what is the mean year of schooling for adults, and another one which is used is expected year of schooling. One is mean year of schooling and another one is expected year of schooling. And in order to measure living standard, we use the same parameter which we have discussed just now, that is GDP, GNP, per capita income, etc. So living standard is measured based on per capita income, that is gross national income, or what we can call it per capita income. Okay, so these three parameters were used. Now based on this, progress of a nation can be calculated or can be arrived at in the modern time. Now, in order to rank the countries based on these developmental indices and these parameters, one report or one index is generated that is known as Human Development Report or Index. In this report or in this index, development of human resource of a country or of a nation is ranked. It is ranked as low human development, second, medium human development, and third, high human development. These human development index or reports are ranked on the scale of 0 to 1. If human development of any nation or any country is between 0.002 to 0.499, it is termed as low human development nation or low human development country. If human development index or report or score is between 0.50 to 0.799, it is treated as medium human development or human developed country. And if your index score is 0.800 to 1, then it is regarded as high human developed country or high human development index. This report is released by UNDP and it is used by countries or nations in order to evaluate their growth or progress and other parameters. These were some generalized concepts regarding progress. As we proceed in this particular chapter or in this particular area, we will be discussing on each point in detail, which will include how do we calculate GDP, NDP, and other related terms. So on this note, I will be ending this session here. Thank you, take care, and bye-bye.